So Simmers, this starts the week 3 of the Nature's Calling event in The Sims 4. So there are 2 tasks as usual and 4 rewards this week. So the Nature Soundscapes radio station, the Reclaimed Wood dining table recipe, the Rings of Growth tattoo, and the Touch Grass Weekly issue number 3, which is a collectible item. So it's pretty easy to get these. I say it takes about 10 minutes in game. I use the same family every time I play in-game events, so it doesn't corrupt any of my other saves. So for the first task, it's called Secret Sands. And there's a little pop-up with some lore if you're keeping up with that. There are 5 activities in this first task. For me, the easiest ones to complete are by going to the location they tell you to go to. So I took my sim to the Desert Bloom Park, which is actually the park in the middle of Oasis Springs, which is one of the base game neighborhoods in The Sims 4. I had her travel by herself because it's just easier that way. And then once I got there, there was a couple tasks that popped up. One was drawing in the sand, so just pick any empty plot of sand at the park, left click on that, and they'll have an option. You can draw a heart, or you can draw some other shapes, and then wait a few seconds for your sim to do it. I don't know if this is just an interaction for this challenge, or if this is something that's always been in the game. I don't remember, but I thought that was pretty cool. I had her draw a heart. And then the next interaction was to explore the cave. So the cave is the entrance to the Forgotten Grotto, which you do have to have level 10 handiness skill to actually travel to the Forgotten Grotto. It's in the upper left-hand corner of the map when you're at the park, the Desert Bloom Park already. So just kind of scroll up until you get to the upper left corner, and then you can click Investigate the Cave. And then one of the tasks that always happens is called Spend Time Outdoors. That one's easy, just spend time outdoors. You don't have to do anything special to complete that. It completed on its own while I was exploring the park. And then finally, the last task was to catch 2 frogs. Because my sim already has level 10 handiness skill, I decided to just go explore the grotto. I couldn't find any frogs that spawned at the park itself, but in the grotto, there's a couple of like an empty well and an empty like log that you can explore for frogs. So that was pretty easy to do. It took maybe 2 tries to get the 2 frogs, and that completes task 1. So that pretty much gives you 3 out of the 4 prizes. So you get the Soundscapes radio station, the wood table recipe, and then the tattoo. And then you wait a couple seconds for task 2 to pop up, which is called the Symphony of Serenity. Which I don't know how they're coming up with these names, but they're quite poetic. So I had her go back to her home lot. She's actually kind of tired from being out. And so the first thing I did was buy a grill. So you can just pick any grill in build buy mode. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And then the second task was to sleep with the Nature Soundscapes radio station playing. So make sure you redeem your rewards from the first quest. And I didn't have a radio in my Sim's bedroom, so I had to buy a little radio, put in the corner there, turn on the Soundscapes radio station first, and I had her go to sleep. It actually was really cool. I didn't expect this, and I thought it was a nice touch, but when she woke up, I noticed she had a happy moodlet called the Sleep Sound Savant, saying that she really enjoys sleeping in nature, and it really made her feel refreshed. I thought that was a cute nod to have that, because I know in real life a lot of people sleep with white noise machines or brown noise machines or just music in the background. And so it's nice to see that this specific radio station gives them a little boost, making sure they wake up in a good mood. I actually want to use that with children-age Sims and teenage Sims in the future. Like, let them sleep to the soundscapes before they go to school and see if that puts them in a good mood. Off camera, my Sim's husband cooked on the grill that I had just bought. That was one of the 4 tasks for this, to complete this quest. And then finally, you have to build a reclaimed wood dining room table. So it's 157 simoleons, which isn't too bad. Again, my sim has the max handiness skill, so I don't know if there's a handiness skill requirement before you can make it. It doesn't take too long, and you can always sell it if you don't want to keep it. But pretty simple overall, and then you're able to redeem the last 2 items, which is some simoleons and then the Touch Grass Weekly issue number 3. And then I popped into Create a Sim just to see if there are other swatches on the tattoo. Looks like there's 5 swatches altogether. It's only on the upper left arm though. So I had to click through the menu a little bit to figure out which body part can actually have the new tattoo, and it's only an upper left arm tattoo, which is an interesting choice. Surprised they don't let you put it on the right arm. Maybe that was just an oversight on their end. But it did come with 5 different swatches. The white looks kind of funky. It's too obvious. The other ones are more natural swatches. But yeah, overall not a bad week. Next week, next Tuesday the 15th, will be the last week of new quests to complete. And that has the outhouse as one of the big prizes. And then you'll have 2 more weeks after that to complete any quest if you haven't been doing it on a weekly basis. But let me know in the comments below, what did you think of week 3?